Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be planning for the week of October 17th through the 23rd, 2022 in my Sadie Stickers planner. I'm going to be using a kit called, I believe it's called Move In or Moving Day by WhiteRosePrintables. So this is a kit that I printed and cut myself from files purchased off of Etsy. The reason I'm using this kit is because this week is our moving week. I am so excited. It feels like this has been cooking for a very, very long time. For those of you who don't regularly watch the channel, my husband and I purchased our first home. It's a new build construction, so we bought the lot in March, and it is only now just that we are able to close and move in. So it's been kind of a whirlwind experience for us, lots of ups and downs. I will definitely share some details about my experience, but I got this kit last year or it might have even been 2 years ago, when we first moved to North Carolina from New York City. So I knew I was going to use it at least once more, and that's why I invested in the art. But so some of this applies to us. Our house does not look like this, but and we, are not painting or anything yet. But anyway, so I love this. Actually matches our floors, which is very cool. We have a red door, not a blue door, but a lot of it's really cute. So this kit came with a lot of pages, lots of flags and headers, lots and lots of quarter boxes, full boxes. I love the decorative headers here. There's extra deco and full boxes. This guy looks like my husband. Some full box checklists, some work flags here. I just like the chambray, peaches, and blues, and sort of more natural toned hues. This kit did come with scripts and functionals, lots and lots of extra flags. So this is a lot, and I'm definitely going to be flipping through all of this. Because it's October, normally I would be using a Halloween themed kit, and so because I didn't want to lose all of that entirely, I'm going to be pulling in some little details here. So I have a couple of samplers. This is from Once More with Love. I'm probably going to try and incorporate the spooky bookshelf. This is from a new shop to me called Stick with the Plan Co. in the UK, and I just thought that was really, really cute. I have the sweater weather candle collection here from Crafty Banana. I'm going to be using these foiled pumpkin date numbers from Sadie Stickers, along with a pumpkin bind divider. This may look familiar for those of you who watched a recent video. And then I got this sticker sheet from Once More with Love. It's called The Big Move. It really does have a lot of things. I used a couple of icons to mark things on my monthly calendar as well. I got this sheet. I don't know if I'm going to be using this just yet, but we do have an IKEA trip planned for next week. These are the ghostly activities sampler. I'm going to be using these headers from Crafty Banana because I like them better, and they definitely go with this kit. And then of course I was just going to pull in what's this? And again, this is just for Halloween planning, and some more moving decluttering stickers from Stick with the Plan. Lots of fall fun deco there. So lots and lots and lots of stuff to work with. I am very excited, and I have to work kind of quickly because we are going out to dinner tonight with my in-laws. So I'm going to try and be as speedy as possible, but stay with me. I will come back to you in a voiceover right now. All right, so this is the second time I'm using this kit because I did use it when I moved last year. and it's a printable kit, so it's not sized perfectly for this planner. I ended up skipping over a couple of things just in the interest of time. I put the Sadie Stickers date dots on top. And as you can see, if you compared this to last week, the solid pumpkins were just so much easier to see and read. So if you're interested in getting date dots that are perfectly clear to read, I will recommend the solid ones. I know they're not as fancy looking, and I do love a delicate touch of foil. As you can see, I think the background of the brick headers here overshadowed how delicate these beautiful, like, foiled pumpkins are. So in hindsight, I wish I had just used one and not both, but I think the effect is very charming, to say the least. So I was filming this kind of in a rush to get everything out before we had to go to my in-laws' anniversary dinner. And in the interest of saving time on editing, I did not edit out all the pauses. So if you see me like not doing anything for a while, it's because it's a more accurate depiction of how I put these things together. I will be listening to something or watching TV while I do this, and so I take frequent pauses. Normally I would edit those out, but I'm not doing that this time because I just want to get this out there. So I decided to use the headers that came with the kit. That little box says, "We said yes to the address," which I think is very sweet. I like how clear all of the fonts are on this kit. It's the nice serif font paired with the sans serif. I just realized actually, so it's a little bit of a faux pas. I have friends who work in publishing who'd be like, "How could you do this?" But I did it. So this is moving week. This was the last thing that I was able to film in my old apartment. So just tracking vitamins and temperature, and I just wanted to do reading and cross stitch. I honestly didn't end up tracking either of those in this planner. But sometimes even just the act of writing it out can help me kind of process what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put all the full boxes for the week. And I had all these great glitter headers that came with this kit. Not all the art really applies to me here, but I did decide to use the work boxes because I have different work schedules for each school on each day. Sometimes lighter printed stuff, like that very light one at the end, I try not to use as much in planners because it's difficult to see, and I do use this planner functionally. So if I can't see what I'm writing on it, it's kind of useless to me. But thankfully there were so many different colors in this spread. So I did try and color block. This was like a blue-gray, I guess, for Monday. So on Monday, I marked that I wanted to have my morning coffee, and then I just marked that we were confirming the movers, and I had to finish a lot of session notes from the previous week. I made use of the functional checklists here, and I used a little foiled chic blossom prints sticker for morning coffee, just to mark getting up early. Sometimes I will get up early just to have a little peace and quiet with my coffee. This is future Bridget talking now. We really didn't know it at the time, but the liquid medicines that we were giving to Vinny were just not working because he was spitting them out. And we didn't really know what to do about this because we were moving. I didn't have a ton of time in the morning to chase him around, and like it was really, really difficult to feed him in the mornings. So I was very careful to save the pills for as much as I could of what we had left. But we had switched to this like liquid medicine that he just did not like. So it was challenging. For those of you who are new to the channel, Vinny is my cat, not my husband. My husband does not need me to shoot liquid medicine into his mouth. He's fully capable of taking that. So meanwhile, while all this is going on, my in-laws are still in town. So they spent Monday and Tuesday house hunting in different parts of North Carolina, and we went about our days, and then in the evenings we would meet them for dinner. So all of our dinners were eating out this week, and it was for the best, really, because we didn't have a functional kitchen. We ended up packing the majority of the kitchen stuff the night before, so we really could have used things, but just in the interest of like washing dishes and everything, I just didn't want to have that function, that burden on me. Um, but that's a really cute little double box scene. I thought that was really sweet. We don't have a blue door, we have a maroon door. And our house doesn't really look like that because it is 2 stories, so that looks more like a ranch house. But other than that, a lot of it was, this kit was very applicable. And I'm sorry that you can't see the bottom there. I'm just marking actually that I had the day off. I had to take the day off on Thursday for the closing because we had to meet with the lawyer. So it was an all-day thing, and the process for transferring your deposit, it has to go by wire transfer, and so there's very explicit instructions. You have to do it the night before you're set to close, and it's a lot of money. Whatever you're putting as your down payment, that's what you're transferring over. And there's a lot of internet scandals that can happen where, you know, they set up the wire transfer, but it's actually some other criminal who's taking all your money, and it's devastating because there's really no way to get it back easily. So it was a very harrowing experience, all of that. And our in-laws were leaving that night. So we had one last hurrah with them on Wednesday, and then on Thursday it was just, so when I say this was an emotional week, it packed a punch. I'm holding, that's a little munchkin holding the keys there just to mark that that was the day we were going to close and get our keys. So the plan was to close on Thursday and then move in on Saturday, so we would have the whole weekend to like move. We had access to the apartment until Halloween, so that gave us a little bit of a buffer. We had a week and a weekend to really get everything out of there, but we got most of it out on that Saturday, which was kind of remarkable. I'm not sure what I'm laying down. I kind of jumped all over the place. This was a crazy week. I was just trying to make space and for the things that I knew we were going to do. Saturday was the moving, and we had to coordinate all of the movers plus 2 sets of appliances were getting delivered, the refrigerator and the washer dryer, both from the same place. So thankfully we didn't have 2 sets of deliveries for that, but then we also had a sofa being delivered. So we had a lot going on, and Frank and I were able to split the duties between the 2 of us, so that was really helpful. And I spent the majority of Saturday like in the morning by myself in this big empty house that just seems enormous and crazy. And now it's definitely feeling more and more like home, but at the time it was really odd and like kind of cool, but also terrifying. So on Friday, I marked that I got a very large cup of coffee, and I did have to do a speech language evaluation on a private school student that day, so I was just marking that down. I wanted to do laundry, we had to get cash for tips, I had to finish packing, we had to take out the trash, we had to change over our mail and driver's license. It was a weird, crazy week. I loved all these little Once More with Love munchkins for moving. Highly recommend that sheet if you are moving because it's so functional, and I was able to use them throughout the week. So we have work, and let's see, Wednesday was the last day that we had. I just marked an appointment because my husband did the final closing walkthrough with our builder, and I didn't have to be there for that, thankfully, because I didn't really have days off to take, and so because my husband works from home, he had a little bit more flexibility on his time. However, I know he was working really, really hard this week to get all of this stuff that I didn't even know that was happening done. So kudos to him for getting that all done. I had to do a lot of makeup sessions because we'd had so many teacher work days, and I knew I was going to be out on Thursday, so I was trying to do like 2 days worth of work in one on Tuesday to make up, because it wasn't like the kids were missing because they were absent. It was they were missing because I was absent. So I was able to sort of forward make up 99% of my sessions, and I was pretty impressed with myself for that because that is not easy, and it takes the cooperation of a lot of teachers. I put in a munchkin of the Oogie Boogie Man because it was like the perfect palette, and it's also pretty much how I felt this whole week. Um, and so then we had to order, I said I have order extra linens. I'm not really sure what I'm talking about here. I think it was maybe towels. So on Tuesday night, we hung out with the in-laws. We actually ended up going out to, I forget where we went. It wasn't pizza. That was Monday. Oh, man, I honestly don't remember. So then we had our closing meeting. It was a very quick meeting. We signed away a ton of paperwork, and then we went and got coffee while we were waiting for the transfer to go through. And then once the transfer came through, we went back to the lawyer's office, and they were able to give us our keys. On Saturday, I had to order pizza for all the movers. Gosh, on Friday, Frank made sure the internet and gas was installed. I mean, he did so much work this week before we moved. And when you're moving into a new build, it's a real struggle because you're giving people an address that technically doesn't exist yet. So it was a very delicate procedure, and everything had to happen just so. So if you're doing a new build, I would just recommend that you keep a running tally and schedule and plan of absolutely everything that needs to happen and when it can start happening and when it needs to be finished happening, because there's a lot of weird overlap there. Someone actually did buy us a welcome mat, and I saw they sell it at Target. So I'm not sure if that was Lennar or our real estate agent. So Sunday was probably one of the worst days I've ever had in my life because we had an incident with our cat. Remember, I said he wasn't taking his medicine. And this was at 9 o'clock at night on Sunday. So we were totally wiped, we were exhausted, and yeah, we didn't get to enjoy our home in the evening. That did not happen. We ended up having to rush him to an emergency vet situation where they told us that we had two options. We could have him humanely euthanized, or they could do a procedure in which he was maybe not likely to survive. We opted for the procedure, and he did actually make it, and he's fine. But we were up until 3:30 in the morning. We literally came back to our house to nap for 2 hours because the procedure was happening overnight, and I went to work on less than 2 hours sleep, not sure if our cat was going to make it after a weekend of moving. So I was a total zombie on Monday and Tuesday. I mean, I looked like zero, the sticker I'm putting down right now. So we had like one good night with our cat, and then it was just all chaotic. So this was the most stressful week I've had this year, and I want to say that it got better. It continued to be emotionally difficult, but ultimately the house that we are in now, the place that we are in now, I can look back on this week and think, wow, we did so much, and I'm proud of us, and I'm proud of all the work that we did. I think what I'm writing here is be thankful, and that is absolutely true. Throughout all of this stress and anxiety, we were able to accomplish so much, and I'm so grateful to my husband to our families for supporting us. This was such an endeavor, and I'm so glad that it's over, but we couldn't have done it without everybody's help. Okay, so here we are, the final finished product. It looks busy, but cute. I like the way that it came out. The colors are very subtle and pretty, which is nice, but I do like these little pops of character throughout. I think it makes all the difference. Sorry for the chaotic planning. To be honest, I think it's just going to be a minute by minute kind of day. I was trying to parse all of the different pieces of my brain together while I was filming this. And I'm sure there are things in here that are going to get shifted, moved, whatever. It's a very busy week, but hopefully everything will go smoothly, fingers crossed. And yes, so you probably won't see this video until well after I have moved. This may or may not be the last video that I film in my apartment. I might try and film this week's or next week's video on either Wednesday or Thursday. It just sort of depends on if I have time. But I will miss this apartment very, very much. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about new builds or new construction, please leave them in the comment section below and have a great week. Thanks.